Hi, it's Timo. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central, come up against Southampton and Watford in the last 2 months. Norwich's biggest relegation rivals and 2 losses, and that is a terrible loss. Norwich a lot better in the second half, but a shambolic first half display in which it was a no-show performance, terrible set pieces, and that defending has cost us. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. Yeah, it was really positive after the Arsenal game, and obviously, when the players put in 100% as they did against Arsenal, you could have nothing but pride. But I felt like we could have beat Arsenal. And coming up against Southampton, obviously a team who were much lower down in the table, the team who were one place above us, a really disappointing performance. Starting with that first half, it was terrible. It's the worst 45 minutes I've seen from Norwich City play in probably since Farke's first season. It was absolutely abysmal. Couldn't string a few passes together. Pukki was so isolated up front. There was a lack of movement. I think we only had one shot in the entire first half, and that was a long shot off target. But Southampton, quickly to touch on them, obviously that they killed us with some good play in the first half. But I don't think Southampton necessarily looked like an amazing team. I think Southampton will be towards the bottom, probably with us next season. Yeah, that second half performance, I wasn't impressed by Southampton. But in the first half, they're very clinical with their set pieces. In the 20th minute, Todd Cantwell fouled James Ward-Prowse, I think it was, in a dangerous area. And James Ward-Prowse, we all know he's fantastic with his deliveries, and it was very probably naive tackle from Todd Cantwell. Fantastic ball into the box, and Danny Ings, Southampton's star man, scored. I think that's his 8th goal of the season. And Danny Ings looks a real hot striker, and the defending was really poor. And as I said, the defending is probably the worst I've seen since Farke's first season. It was abysmal in that first half. We were singing the praises how when Zinnemann comes back we're going to be better defensively, and against Everton and Arsenal I think we have looked better defensively, but in the first half today just really poor. And then kind of on the stroke of half time they made it 2-0, and another set piece, another corner goal. Obviously against Arsenal we conceded from a corner, and now we've conceded another two set pieces today. And that was a problem in the Championship last season under Farke. Of course, we scored lots of goals, played some fantastic, attractive football, but set pieces really did cost us, didn't they? And we conceded a fair few, and they're costing us more so in the Premier League. An easy header, and Ryan Bertrand stuck it away from a few yards out. And they could have made it 3-0 as well. Hoiberg with a fantastic effort, and Tim Krul made one of his best saves of the season. Fantastic, because the ball was swerving. But we went into that first at the end of the first half, didn't we? And it was absolutely abysmal, and we needed to change something. And when you bring on Alex Tettey, you don't particularly get too much inspiration. But to be fair, Tettey was probably our man of the match. Was absolutely fantastic. Made some really good interceptions and provided the assist for Pukki's goal. Southampton started the second half well. I think Ings went close. They had a possible penalty shout. But from the 60th minute onwards, we started to play our football again, started to grow into the game. And don't get me wrong, Norwich City did not put in a good performance today, but we started to show signs of some good football. And Tettey with a lovely through ball into Pukki. And when Pukki's one-on-one, you know there's only going to be one answer. It's a goal. It's a Pukki party. And 2-1, we go into the game, we get back into the game. But then we didn't really apply too much pressure. As I said, Southampton had a couple of chances to kill the game off, but didn't really. And it was only in that last 10 minutes when we really started to play some good football. But by then it was probably too late, wasn't it? 2 fantastic chances at the end. Buendia with a free header from 12 yards out. He's got to be hitting the target there. Buendia yet to score a Premier League goal this season, and he's a player who I think a lot of fans were really excited to see in the Premier League. And don't get me wrong, he's put in some fantastic performances, but if he could add a few more goals into his game, I think it'll really do his confidence a lot of good. And then Sam Byram at the end. Sam Byram's been, absolutely fantastic in the games he's come in to cover Jamal Lewis. Was fantastic against Man City, very good against Everton and Arsenal. And what a chance for him! Ono Hernandez does brilliantly, cuts the ball back to Byram. The first shot is blocked. It comes back to him, and he blazes it over the bar. An absolutely terrible effort from Byram, and the game ends. And Southampton are obviously climb away from Norwich. I think we're now. Liverpool and Everton are still playing now. I think Liverpool's going to win that game comfortably. But that means we're kind of, I think we're about 5-6 points off 16th now. So there is a gap forming, and Norwich City are getting left behind. And it's really disappointing as well, because we built up such momentum with a fantastic win against Everton, a really good performance against Arsenal, and we come up against Southampton and put in a terrible display. And Norwich can put in good performances against good teams, and we can be proud of them. But when you're playing the teams like Southampton and Watford, who, I'm not being disrespectful here, I don't think Southampton and Watford were particularly great against us at all. and to put in these disappointing performances and to concede really sloppy goals is disappointing. So where does this leave us? 19th, a massive game against Sheffield United coming up on Sunday, 2 o'clock. I don't know why it's been moved to Sunday, but that's a big game. And we need to get behind the boys now and hopefully put in another performance at Carrow. But to improve, we've got to be better in that first half. It was a no-show first half of the performance. Second half was a bit better, but we left it too late. And set pieces, we've got to change that as well, because you cannot defend set pieces like that. And when you're coming up against Sheffield United, a tall, rigid, disciplined team, you know they can hurt us on set pieces, so we need to be better. But thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts down below. Subscribe to Norwich City Central, and yes, I'll see you later.